Hey everyone, so I know it's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, or even just a video in general. This is going to be my fanfiction 5 recommendations, fanfiction recommendations 5, yeah. By the way, I look like I'm diseased. I don't know what's going on here in my skin, so just ignore it. But these fanfictions, recommendations, there aren't that many. I'm gonna be honest with you, there aren't that many good fanfictions much anymore that everyone is like freaking out over. Like, for example, let's say When Can't Take My Eyes Off You, or McLeanly High, or Things That Cannot Change, or you know, just things like that. There hasn't been too many good ones where everybody's like freaking out together when a new update comes, because there hasn't been many updates with many fics. So but I do want to let you guys know I have a whole new fanfiction page. I haven't really mentioned it much on, I don't think I've even mentioned on my YouTube, but my friend Crystal, she made wonderful gifts of each category for Clayne, Kardashian, and Chris Colfer. As well with Clayne, there's 5 different sections of types of genre with the fics, and then there's my personal favorite ones. It's all organized and wonderfully put together, and I really took a lot of time with it, so I really hope you like it. And these are just some of them that are on them, as well as ones that I just reblog. I don't really put them on my favorites, but yeah, so all of these are wonderful, and they're all going to be Clayne, Kardashian, and Chris Colfer. So they're not really any order. I just kind of did whatever ones I could find. Usually I put like my favorite ones at the top, but I'll kind of mention them as I go along. So the first one is To Always Love You by Skin Tight Socks, which is always a great place to find good smut fanfiction. It's a one-shot, and it's a summary series of snippets from Kurt and Blaine's relationship in the future based off the box scene, which was the scene that was deleted from the Christmas episode of season 3, when Blaine gave Kurt a box with I think it was a ring made out of gum wrappers, and you could probably find on Tumblr they won the script, so you can see what was in the script and what happened with them, and it was just a lovely scene. If you haven't read it, maybe I can find a link on Tumblr for you to go read it, because it's wonderful, and I feel like Glee they shouldn't have taken that out, so that was ridiculous. But this one is really cute. It's just, I really loved it. I fell in love with it. It's on one of my favorites, I think. The next one is An Accidental Chance, which I've recommended before, but I called it The Accidental Change, and at the time I was kind of iffy about it, but now this one is completed by Slayer Kitty, completed with 32 chapters, An Accidental Tweet, A Chance Phone Call, or What Happens When Famous TV Star Blaine Anderson Accidentally Tweets His Phone Number. And yeah, it's kind of like it makes a lot of references to Tumblr and fangirls, so if you're into that kind of stuff like I am, I think it's really funny, because it's like, you're like, wow, these girls sound really dumb, but it's like, that's what we sound like, or even boys. And the sequel, Chances Are, which is still a work in progress, I know it only has 28 chapters as of the last chapter. Summary: A chance of a lifetime, a chance at achieving dreams, or what happens when Kurt and Blaine try to plan for the future now that it's here. It's just a great sequel to the first fic of it. It's just a nice continuation of it. It's something really much different. It's just a continuation of awesome. The next one is Interludes by Y'all. If I've repeated some of these, like if you notice I've already recommended these, just ignore it. Sometimes I look it up and I thought I didn't recommend it, but I did, so I'm not sure about this one. I'm pretty sure I didn't recommend it, because it's been since April since I've done a fic rec video. So, Interludes, completed with 18 chapters. Summary: Blaine has spent most of his life feeling that the only thing people notice about him is that he stutters. He's working hard to overcome his, mostly self-created, roadblocks when he meets Kurt in an online class the summer after his freshman year of college. And the sequel to that is Overtures by Y'all, and this one has smut in it, by the way. Completed with 15 chapters. After months of online flirtation, Kurt and Blaine finally have managed to get together in real life. But will Blaine's lingering insecurities and Kurt's plans to study abroad jeopardize their relationship before he even has a chance to begin? I really like this fic because it's very different, because you don't see a lot. I've never read a stuttered fic. It's kind of, I mean, there's some, certain parts in certain fics where they kind of, stumble, but this one is really based on Blaine's stutter, and I think it's just a cute romance between the two. And I really liked it. And she said she's going to make a third one on it, but I haven't heard anything of it yet, so 5 times Kurt and Blaine kissed in public by skin tight socks. It is a one shot. Kurt thinks back to a year ago, 2, 3, all the times he stood in the very spot dreaming of a moment like this. His chest goes tight and his hands itching to pull Blaine close to him right there in front of everyone. It's just I love a cute kind of story. I love when they do PDA sometimes. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it in real life, but it's Kurt and Blaine, so who cares? Howl at Your Beauty Like a Dog in Heat. This is one of my favorites. It's by a living museum. I think on Tumblr her name is Blaine the Friendly Cockslut. It is a work in progress and she hasn't updated in a long time. She says that she's busy at the moment, but I love this fic. I found it on Glee Fic Updates. When Kurt is 14 years old, his father gets remarried to Blaine's mom. Blaine is a senior in high school. Kurt is a freshman, so they don't have much in common. Because of this, they don't talk that much. They are still able to get along, though. A couple years later, when Kurt is 16 and Blaine is 20, he somehow manages to find out Blaine has a boy pussy, which is... I don't know if this one, he somehow have a cock, but like underneath it he has like a vagina. I don't care. Wait. Instead of being disgusted, Blaine has become obsessed, even spying on Kurt when he gets dressed. One night, he can't take it anymore and sneaks into his room at night to finger fuck him and eat him out. Kurt has really bad eyesight and must wear contacts, which he has to take out at night. Because of this, he can't see a thing when Blaine comes into his room and he really is panicked and confused. Soon it becomes a nightly thing. Kurt really likes it. He wants more of this stranger. It's a very weird one because it's like, not really dubcon, non-con, I don't know, but it's some people won't like it because they think it's like rape or whatever, but Kurt likes it, and it's a boy pussy. I know a lot of people don't like those, but, you know, I've come to like that kind of kink, only in fan fiction though, but, you know, it's different. It's really great smut, so I don't know, I like it. Bluebird by Purdy13. This is also a work in progress, doesn't get updated very often. Kurt is very ditzy and naive and was immediately transferred to Dalton when one of his teachers called him out for being stupid, which is where he meets Blaine and the Warblers for the first time, who all thinks he's just the cutest thing. He's like Brittany, he's very dumb, he's just so ditzy. It's really cute, but it's so different to Kurt because Kurt is just so smart and, you know, well put together, and this Kurt is just like so fun and energetic, and, you know, he's just like crazy, you know. I don't know, I like it. How Kurt Hummel Got Married, Fell in Love, and Met His Dream Man in that order by Aubrey Lee, completed as the younger brother, with Finn being the eldest and therefore will inherit all of Bert's land, property, and money. Kurt is sold to Blaine as a husband. At first, Kurt is dead set against it. He doesn't want to be married to some random man. However, one earth-shattering orgasm on the wedding night soon changes Kurt's mind and becomes an insatiable cockslut for his hubbies. This is bottom Kurt only, I believe. I don't remember. And there is a sequel to that, the coda to it. Kurt and Blaine's First Date. It's just another more smut. It's wonderfully written. I like this author. She writes good smut as well. Syrup and Honey, which is one of my favorites, by Hearts Made of Books, or Heart Made of Books, maybe that's it. Completed with 9 chapters. Kurt Hummel is 25 years old when he finds himself being the owner of a bakery he's been dreaming about his whole life, just in time to sweeten up Blaine Anderson's day. So it's a very angsty Blaine story though, but it's really cute. I love this AU. Like Chewing on Pearls by Hey Blaine, completed with 3 chapters, and the skank Kurt AU has been really popular on Tumblr lately because of Kendra Can Draw. I think that's her name on Tumblr. She's a really good fan artist. I'm in love, says Blaine. He throws himself on the bed where he meets skank Kurt, and he's kind of like, I guess he's nerd, but I guess Kurt isn't really a skank. He's just a bad boy in this with pink hair. That's what the author said. Daddy's Girls by Beauty Held Within, completed with 20 chapters. It has been 10 years since Kurt and Blaine broke up and split their family apart. Now the two girls meet for the first time in the scheme to get the happy family they never knew back, based loosely on The Parent Trap. It's very similar to it, besides the whole crazy stepmom-to-be kind of thing. But it is like that, and it always gave me feels because it's like, oh, it's so cute, because I love The Parent Trap. And this fic was just really cute. I like the idea of the 2 dads. I don't read a lot of fics with Daddy Quain, so I mean, you know, but this one was really good. Fics by Rain Joy's writing, and she also has another fic, I think it's a werewolf fic that I'm getting really into, but it doesn't get updated very often. But I've been really into Teen Wolf lately, like I just started watching it, so you know, I kind of like the idea now. Completed with 5 chapters. Blaine is the new bad boy McKinley and takes interest in protecting Kurt from bullies. He puts a leather band on Kurt's wrist, which Kurt can take off if he tried, but he knows he doesn't want to. Can Kurt fix what is already seemingly broken? I think I wrote that summary because I don't think there was a big one. It was just kind of vague, and so yeah, it's Bad Boy Blaine. I like it. The Muse by the Sumerians. This was a popular one at the time. An AU that shamelessly thieves giant pieces of the plot from Anne Rice's novel Belinda, which I've never read. Blaine is 34 and Kurt is 16. Stuff happens, but not exactly like the book. I guess he's like an author, and Kurt is just like a free spirit young guy who's ran away from home because of horrible family problems, and they just get together, and it's really cute. It reminds me of a movie for sure. I swear I've recommended this one before, but if I have, just ignore it. I'm just going to say it again because I really like this one. Flood the Skies and Blur the Clouds by TwyVamp92. Completed with 3 chapters. Kurt meets Rachel and her older brother Blaine when he's 5 years old. The 3 become instant friends and grow up together. When Kurt's 16, he realizes he likes Blaine. He's also 16 when Blaine goes away to college. When he's 17 and Blaine's home for Christmas break, Blaine realizes that the kid grew up isn't so little anymore. This is the Annaberry siblings fic. One of my favorites, it's not my personal favorites, is We Compare Our Hearts to the Things That Fly But Cannot Land, also by TwyVamp92, or I think her name on Tumblr is Kiss Me Quite Insane. Completed with 7 chapters. When Kurt Hummel was 6 years old, he told his mother he wanted a soulmate. 10 years later, when he shakes Blaine Anderson's hand, a spark shoots through his entire body. At first, Kurt writes it off as nothing, just static electricity. But as the day goes by, they both realize that they're starting to get constant headaches, stomach cramps, the whole 9. The only thing that stops the pain when they're near each other. The longer they're together, the stronger the bond becomes, eventually escalating to needing physical contact. So when they realize they need to literally be together 24/7 to survive, how will they cope? This is even before, you know, they're dating and they're just like, what's going on? You know, you being here stops the pain. It's like a supernatural kind of thing. I really like it. I really like this fic. It's wonderfully written. One of my other favorites, it's a Kardashian fic, is No Use Resisting by Coffee Laced Words. I've read this twice because it was just so good. I think it's only like a one-shot kind of, or one chapter kind of thing. When Kurt's neighbor Sebastian suggests that they do more than hang out, he thinks it's a bad deal until it's not. So it's like friends with benefits, but they're younger, and you know he hasn't met Blaine. It's like they're still, you know, freshman, sophomore year, discovering if they like boys or girls, and it's just so cute. I love coming out stories like that, you know, finding romance before you even know what you are. It's a wonderful fic. I love it. Not My Type by Common Sense, who also wrote Don't You Remember, is a work in progress. It's established subclane, which is Kurt, Sebastian, and Blaine. Sebastian has so far only had sex with Blaine, and Kurt takes this to mean that Sebastian isn't attracted to him because he's too effeminate. But when Blaine goes away on business, Sebastian reveals he's been waiting to get Kurt alone for the first time so they can discover how they work best together sexually before they go at it again with Blaine. Let me tell you, there's no Blaine in this so far. I don't remember. I mean, there's a little bit, but there's not like Kurt's always there with them. If you know you're not into that, I don't like Blaine fics myself. I like always Kurt in this situation, so I mean it's like a 3-way relationship, I guess. It's really weird because, you know, I'm usually reading only monogamous ones, but I guess they're like polygamous. Is that what it's called? It's different if you're into that thing. Fulfill My Fantasies by Fly Blackbird Fly. I love Birdie's fics. As a one-shot, Sebastian sees Kurt's single ladies dance and finds himself suddenly very interested in what else Kurt can do with his hips. She's writing a lot of Kardashian drabbles. She's wonderful. I love it. Something Old, Something New by Chamber Gambit, a work in progress. I love this fic. I cried from it. After Blaine is married off to a girl, Santana, Kurt agrees to be set up by his father by someone else. Unfortunately, his main prospect is a party boy named Sebastian Smythe. So yeah, Blaine has to be married to Santana because their parents set it up, and they have to wait like 3 years before they can get divorced, and Kurt and Blaine are still dating, I guess, while he's married to Santana, and she doesn't want it either because she likes girls. So, you know, they're kind of just best friends that are married until they can get divorced, and Kurt has to marry someone else because of his job, and so does Sebastian. So what are you gonna do? Taking Root by Hello Nick, completed. This is a Chris Colfer fic, by the way. Darren's having an existential crisis and drags Chris along with him while he's trying to figure himself out. A road trip of sorts happens incidentally. This is really great because it's also Darren, I guess, in this fic discovering who he is and if he likes Chris and whatnot. It's really great. VDAY verse series. This is a whole series of the same kind of story, just progressing on a new. All by Miss Begonia, who's a really great Chris Colfer writer. Bitter party of one. It's impossible to be mad at you, Chris says. That's like hating the Muppets. That's the summary of it. I guess they're all kind of like what's going on in each chapter. It's not like a summary. No regrets, just love. Oh, for heaven's sakes, it was just a kiss. You didn't kill my dog, Chris snaps. Get off the floor. Next one is Stay High, Lie Low. When Darren says, my brother's playing a gig in San Francisco and I'm gonna go, I think you should go too. What he doesn't say is, I'm homesick and I don't want to miss you when I'm away. And the last one is, like, he likes my disco, he really grooves me. Darren never lets go of his hand. Wherever they are, whoever's around, whatever he should be doing, he isn't. He never lets go. But he never lets go. For Appearance Sake by Little Lemur, Chris Kardashian. Kurt's an upcoming actor who's wanted on all the red carpets. His agent begs him to get a boyfriend because it'll look good for his image. But Kurt can't just find a boyfriend. He's way too busy for the dating scene and he isn't sure if he can trust anyone. So he buys one instead. Kurt takes a personality test to determine who will be right for him. He gets Sebastian, who banters with him and challenges him and isn't what he expected at all, but doesn't matter because Sebastian makes him feel more alive than the last few partners he's had. But I guess the summary is a little bit different than what happens because Blaine and him break up because they just aren't, working, and Sebastian's like this innocent boy who's, part of this dating service thing. It's like Sebastian is the innocent one. It's so different and I really like it. Wait and See by Smells Like Chai, who is also Darren's derriere, who also wrote Read My Mind. She's great. Kurt is the son of a used book salesman with dreams bigger than his small town. Blaine is a transfer student and a photographer with a shining talent. Together they navigate the path of falling in love and preparing for their looming futures. It's very cute. Sweet Stories Told in Sugar by Quixotica, the same kind of bakery AU. Future AU in which Kurt and Blaine did not meet in high school. Kurt is a pastry chef who runs his own little West Village bakery called Butterlush, and Blaine is an accountant who stumbles literally upon the sweetest thing ever. Well, with syrup and honey, they're still in Ohio, and I think here this is in New York. My Heart Can Never Be Still by Fleur de Lis, 5 chapters completed. Blaine gets admitted into a religious institute meant to cure young men for their homosexuality. I think this is in the 50s, 40s, 50s. I think it was 40 because I think it was around the war. There he meets Kurt, who's been there for months, whose assimilation has been going swimmingly until he meets Blaine. He's very bitter because he doesn't believe in God and he has to be here and his parents are dead and whatnot. Towel Off by Chris Colfer by Fic to Criticism. This is a smut fic, by the way. Kurt and Darren live together, and Darren's nudist post-shower habits are becoming a problem. Or 5 times Chris sees naked Darren after a shower, and one time he actually does something about it. I Will Grow You a Garden by Trey Michelle. This is a work in progress. Gardner Blaine AU. It is supposed to be the one thing standing between Kurt and New York, but suddenly that summer was all about a gardener. It's very cute. It's very fluffy. If Work Permits by Artists. The Proposal AU. Sebastian is a demanding, emotionally detached editor of a fashion magazine, and Kurt is his assistant, desperate to be employed in the fashion industry in order to get his name out there and start making his own clothing line. When Sebastian fears his work visa won't be renewed, he demands that Kurt marry him so he can get a green card and avoid deportation back to France. So, like The Proposal, is his boss and his assistant, but also the thing is, Kurt and Blaine were still dating at the time, where they had to pretend they were engaged and then they have to really get married, and it's crazy. One of my favorite Kardashians is It's a Dalton Tradition by Mel Blue. There is one tradition in Dalton for which Kurt is entirely unprepared. He's new, and I guess like the older warblers have to pick a canary, which is like the little slave boy. It's not supposed to be sexual unless the person asks to be, and because Sebastian's a being picks him after he hasn't picked a canary, and I guess it's like the most person that he wants, and Blaine has Jeff, so you know he can't get together with Blaine because Blaine has Jeff, and it's just like so many feels. Sovereign by Iced White Mocha. Kurt is the prince of a kingdom. There has been wars in the past because a king has died without a proper heir, so he absolutely needs to have children. As the last of his line. He is married off to a foreign princess, Rachel Berry. Problem is that he's only into men, and pretty much everyone knows that he can't get it up for the girl, no matter what they do. So the king and his advisors bring in Blaine, a pleasure slave, to help him help him to get aroused enough to have sex and impregnate Rachel. So it is kind of like a threesome kind of thing with Rachel there participating. He's putting in Rachel while Blaine's putting it in Kurt. It's very weird. I don't like when, you know, Kurt and Blaine have sex with the girls, but I guess technically Kurt doesn't have a thing for Rachel, so I guess, you know, I'm alright with it. Somehow when I was putting up my fan fictions together, this one did not, somehow I accidentally didn't put it on the list, so these two I'm going to add as well. The Fiddler and the Maestro, these two are, by the way, like really great ones. They're on my favorite list. So The Fiddler and the Maestro by Colfer, which is not by Chris Colfer, it's just they were really good username. So completed with 9 chapters. The Symphony AU. Kurt is the 27-year-old first violinist and concert master of the Oregon Symphony Orchestra in Portland. Blaine arrives in town to guest conduct their concert of the Holes of the Planets. I really like this one because it's different. You know, you never seen a fic like that, and it reminded me of a movie or something. The Bones of You by Stony321, also the author from Where There's Smoke. Completed with 21 chapters. It's been over 5 years since Kurt and Blaine broke up after Blaine's graduation from McKinley. Blaine is working on his master's degree in Cambridge, United Kingdom, when a well-meaning friend sends him a link to a video and everything in his life changes. Basically, I think it's Wes sends him a video of Kurt and he is on Broadway and he's made it, and Blaine, all his feelings just come back to life and he still loves Kurt, and what will he do with those feelings now that they're both, you know, very deep in their careers and did something with their life after all those years. So I really like them. They're both angsty, but they're both very good. You know, I like these kind of different AUs where it kind of feels like it's not Glee, it's, you know, two men falling in love, and it's not about, you know, the musicals and the Glee Club. It's something different. So I really recommend those as well. They're really well written by wonderful authors, fic authors, and yeah. But that is my fic recs for this time. I hope that you like them. There's a variety of each. There's been a lot of Kardashian ones, I've got to say. So I will talk to you guys later, and I hope to see you guys soon, whenever that is, for my next video. I am going to be seeing Chris Colfer next week. Oh my god. I'm an emotional wreck. I will make a video on that at some point too. So I will talk to you guys later. Follow my Tumblr and go see my fic recs page, which is wonderfully done by me. Alright.